Hello and welcome to another video. I feel like this video is going to be a little bit different for me, but I wanted to talk about the different collection materials I use in my binders. I've got a few questions here and there, and I do my best to answer them, but I wanted to make a dedicated video to talk about it. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with my binders, and I guess I will preface this by saying that obviously these are just the things that, all these materials are just the things that I have found work for me and my collection. And I think for anyone who wants to buy new items for their collection or like wants to house their collection in a different way, just really think about the layout of your collection, like how you want to lay it out, and then think about the different products you might need to achieve that, and be very, I guess, specific with what you need, because then you don't have to buy excess materials. I have definitely been a victim to buying materials that I ended up not really needing. And also in the US, it's difficult sometimes because our sizing is a lot different than the rest of the world, because we do not use the metric system in the US. So it can be complicated to try and fit like different larger inclusions into different pockets, and you will see that when I talk about the different pocket pages I have. But anyway, big binders. So I guess the like standard binder you can say that I use is this kind. So this is the Avery Heavy Duty. This is a standard US binder, standard 3-ring binder, and I always get the D-ring style because I find I like that better. And I had different sizes. This one is a 3-inch. I think my Dreamcatcher one is in a 2-inch, and I have my AT's larger inclusions in a 2-inch. So yeah, I just get the size that I think works for my collection, and I always think about, you know, how much room I'll have to grow. And I'm sure if you've seen any of my other AT's collections, this binder has definitely been through it. I've had this binder for almost 2 years now, and it's held up. So like I personally like the Avery Heavy Duty line of binders. But yeah, this used to be really full, and then I kind of spread my AT's collection out a bit more. But yeah, I mean, so the Avery binders I like, they're good, but like there's so many different like style binders like this in like Targets and Office Depots and Staples and all those different stores. So yeah, just find what you like. And then I guess the like specialty binders I have, this one is from Mochi Things, and this is, they call this their extra large 3-ring binder. It is slightly larger than A4 size. So a little size breakdown for you. In the US, our letter size is 8.5 inches by 11. So that is what's meant to fit in these binders. And in the metric system, what like the rest of the world uses, they have a 4 size, which is what this binder is. So it's slightly smaller and longer than a US like letter size. So this is an AT's merch binder, and it's A4 size, and the ring size is pretty small. Like we couldn't choose different sizes. Like this is just, we got what we got. But it's pretty small, but it still fits like standard US pocket page sizes, like 3-ring pages. And then this one I specifically bought for my AT's album postcards. So like this extra large size. I was on a mission to find like 2 pocket pages to fit these postcards, because like I mentioned earlier, the US 2 pocket pages are too small for these. So yeah, I was kind of on a mission for something very specific when I came across this binder and these pocket pages on Mochi Things. So yeah, if you're on a mission for something specific, you can like type into Google and like search across shops and really like measure the thing that you want to put away, whether it be a postcard or a Polaroid, a poster, whatever it may be, measure it, and then I'm sure you can find like the pocket page that you need that can fit that item. But yeah, so that's that. So let me get into the A5 size binders that I have now. So for A5, I have a few different ones. So I have the B on D A5, which is like kind of blew up all over K-pop YouTube and among collectors and in Korea and all that jazz. So it's a Korean brand, B on D. You can get these on K-Town For You. Mochi Things, the shop that I mentioned before, that's US based, they also sell B on D products. I also have seen them on Etsy before, so there's a few different avenues to get B on D products if you live in the US, but I have the standard A5 size, and then I have an A5 wide size, and I use most of my A5 binders are this size, and then I have this one, which is really meant to be used as a planner, but I use it for my collection, obviously. But like I got this off Amazon, so, and I've seen other people use this, and like I've seen these all over the internet basically. You can just search for like A5 planner and it comes up, but also just searching like A5 binder, 6-ring binder specifically. So like this is 6-ring and these are 6-ring. But yeah, there's lots of options if you don't want to go this like transparent route, but I like this like semi-transparent look, just because like I like, you know, printing out little cover pages and having you be able to see it through. So that's what I personally like, but again, there's lots of options. You can choose whatever you personally want your like collection aesthetic to be. And then this binder, I have a whole video dedicated to this binder because this is also like a specialty item that I was on a very specific mission, and I was just searching and searching and searching online, and that's when I came across scrapbook.com. So in the US, one of the, I guess, scrapbook sizes is 6x8, which is inches. And this is a 6x8 binder. It is 2-ring, it is a D-ring style, and this is slightly larger than an A5 because I needed pocket pages that were big enough to fit these large ass photo cards that Hybe insisted on doing for TXT in the beginning of their career. So later on they did like standard sizes. Then obviously the lenses are bigger, so like they still have bigger cards, and I wanted pocket pages that were big enough to fit them, so I was on a mission. So again, like if you have something specific you need, chances are you can be able to find it if you do enough digging on the internet, but these pocket pages are 3 inches by 4 inches, which is big enough to fit these larger photo cards. But they also have a bunch of different sizes, which I'll get into in a little bit when I talk about my pocket pages. But yeah, so this binder itself is 6x8. So yeah, those are my binders. Moving on. Okay, next let's talk about pocket pages. So I feel like for the most part, all my pocket pages are pretty standard, and it's really just like, you know, different types, like the amount of pockets you have just varies. So I guess I'll start with my A5 sleeves that I use. There is, when I lay it all out like this, it's a lot, but in my collection, like seeing the pages within my collection, it doesn't feel like a lot. But for my B on D binders, I use the B on D pages. I also bought these from Mochi Things, but you can, like I said before, buy them from K-Town For You as well, or Etsy. But I have 2 pocket sizes, I have vertical 2 pocket, I have 1 page, and then I don't have any extras right now, I need to buy more, but I also have the 4 pocket ones, which are, you know, what you need for photo cards. So these are the Beyond D 4 pocket, and I buy the double-sided ones because in other collections I do put cards on the front and back. So that's that. And then for my 1S Eagle collection, I use the Amifa 4 pocket A5 pages. So these are a little bit harder to come by because this is a Japanese brand. So I buy these on Mercari Japan, and I use a Japanese proxy, so that's how I get them. But yeah, I just stock up on these whenever I have like a Bai or Nyokyo order open. They're everywhere on Mercari Japan. So yeah, this is the Amifa brand. And the difference between these 4 pocket pages and the Beyond D 4 pocket pages is that these ones fit standard US Photocard sleeves, whereas these Beyond D pages do not. So these you have to use a smaller photocard sleeve. And I will also talk about the photocard sleeves I use, so we'll get into that. But I just want to preface that. And then my scrapbook.com sleeves. So again, like I need these I just use for my Yeonjun collection, but I have, you know, 4 pockets, 1 pocket, 2 pocket, and then they're for the 6x8 binder. And I get these, like these, all of this stuff for my Yeonjun collection I get off of scrapbook.com. Okay, so now for my 3-ring pages, my main 9 pocket page I use are the BCW black side loading 9 pocket pages. So this is what my 80s collection is housed in. And then I also use these ones, which are like non-branded. So these are cheaper than the branded BCW ones, obviously. So like all of this stuff I get off of Amazon, and I was just looking, like I wanted a black page specifically. So when I first started collecting, I was specifically looking for that. And before I found the BCW brand, I found these that are just some like generic no-name brand that I got off Amazon. Like legit, there is no name to them. Like it has no branding. You'll see for BCW they have this logo stitched right here. There's nothing, which I actually liked. So I use this for my Dreamcatcher collection, and then I cut these up and I use them in my A5 wide. And like I said, I liked that there was no like branding. And then I got the BCW ones later on to use for my 80s collection because these are a bit more like heavy duty and a little bit thicker pages than these ones. These ones are very thin, kind of flimsy. I mean, they protect my collection well enough, but these ones are just like a bit more thicker. So yeah, those are my 9 pocket pages I use. And now we'll get into the other types of pocket pages. So in this big old binder is where I keep all my extra 3-ring pocket pages. So wow, there's so much cat hair. So much cat hair. So first off, 2 pocket pages. Pretty standard. Like I think I have every type of pocket page, which definitely isn't necessary. Like that's why I said earlier, really look at your collection, look at how you want to lay it out in your binders, and truly see what exactly you need and only get what is necessary. Because I have definitely bought in things that I don't need. But yeah, I got my 2 pockets. I have 3 pockets, so there's 1 up here and 2 here. And I use these a lot for postcards. and I need to actually buy more because I only have 3 left. And then see, this is one of the purchases where I didn't really end up needing these, so maybe I'll sell them one day. But like, these are 3 pockets, but just they're all vertical like this, and like you could put like tickets or something like that in here. I ended up not using it, so it was kind of a wasted purchase for me. And oh, I should also specify, all of these pages so far have been BCW. I personally like the BCW brand. There's a few US brands like BCW, Ultra Pro, Titan Shield, Dragon Shield. I think Dragon Shield just makes Photocard sleeves, I'm not actually sure, but I feel like those are like the 4 brands you'll probably hear people talking about the most. The only reason I gravitate towards BCW is because I like that their branding is subtle. The Ultra Pro, and you'll see later, I have an Ultra Pro page in here. The logo that they have on their pages is just really obnoxious to me, and I don't like it. So I gravitated towards BCW, and I think like all their stuff is just as comparable to Ultra Pro or Titan Shield. But yeah, so that's 3 pocket. I feel like I'm rambling a bit. Okay, so these are one of those Erin had a very specific need and went on a deep dive on the internet. So this is Meet YX. That is the brand. I think the brand is from Singapore, but do not quote me on that. So these pages are bigger than the US 8.5 by 11 like standard size, because these are meant for A4 binders. I got these off of AliExpress, but I needed these for tickets I got for my Dreamcatcher collection, and I didn't want to use these because these fit 4. These have 4 slots, so I can obviously fit more in them. And then because Dreamcatcher has 7 members, I would only need 1 page, whereas since this only has 3 slots, I would need 2 pages for 7 members, and I got like 1 extra, and it's kind of weird. So anyway, so I wanted a page that had 4 slots, and I found these from the Meet YX brand, and I do really like these pages. Like, they're good quality, and I don't mind, like they don't hang out of the binder like too much when they're in my binder, but I would just keep that in mind that like if you look for any pocket pages that are not like US brands, the sizing may be a little bit weird when you put them in a US sized binder. So just be careful of those discrepancies. But yeah, I have a lot of them, but these, since they were from AliExpress, they're on the cheaper side. But yeah, I mean, I have a few of them in my Dreamcatcher collection. And then 4 pocket pages, pretty standard, BCW again. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. These, I only needed 1. I needed 1. I used 1 for my Dreamcatcher collection. I haven't needed any of them since. So to me, it kind of feels wasteful, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the Ultra Pro logo, and I just don't, for me personally, I don't like it. I think it's just the holographic part of it just distracts me. I like that BCW is just black and kind of subtle and you don't really notice it that much, but that's a personal choice. But yeah, these are 6 pocket pages and I don't really need them. So yeah, again, a wasted purchase kind of. And these ones too, this is also Ultra Pro. This is 8 pockets. So my thing is, and you will see there's 8 pockets here. Before I transitioned my TXT collection into that like specialty smaller binder, I was trying to make the larger cards work in an 8 pocket. I just did not like how it looked. So I bought the Ultra Pro 8 pocket. I didn't like how it works. Honestly, I don't like the top loading of the 8 pocket. I should probably like sell these for real. I just don't, I will never use these. So yeah, I don't like the top loading. I wasn't liking it. But then I like really wanted an 8 pocket that was side loading. And then that's why when I found the Meet YX brand again, so I kind of, Meet YX solved like 2 very specific problems I was having, but then I ended up switching my TXT collection, so this was a moot point anyway. But I do really like these 8-pocket pages, and like I probably would not get rid of these because I might use them again in the future, but this is the same brand as the 4-pocket side loading, and yeah, these are also side loading, like good quality. I feel like the Photocard was just like more secure in a side loading versus the top loading that the Ultra Pro is. So yeah, I like the Meet YX brand. I think it's a pretty good brand. It's just a little bit difficult to get if you're in the US. And then these are, that's an extra page. These are single pocket, also BCW. So that was very long-winded, but there's so many options, so many different pocket pages that you can get. The options are never ending. So yeah, just evaluate what you need and then be very specific and mindful with your purchases, not like me. Okay, and finally, Photocard sleeves. So I will start with my standard white sleeves that I use. So for my ATEEZ collection, oops, that's trash. For my ATEEZ collection, I use the BCW 66 by 91 millimeter anti-glare white photocard sleeve. So 66 by 91 millimeters is the standard US size. So you will find this size in a bunch of different brands, like the ones I mentioned before, BCW, Ultra Pro, Titan Shield, Dragon Shield. I feel like those are just the main ones. But there's also Mayday that I know a lot of people like, and also Popcorn Photocard Sleeves, which is a Korean brand. So like you also have a lot of options. There's a lot of options with Photocard sleeves, and it's really just about preference. But yeah, I like BCW because these ones do not have any logo or markings on them, which I prefer. I find it less distracting, so I use this for my ATEEZ collection. But before I use these, this is always the case, I was kind of like fumbling around when I first started collecting. I was using the Ultra Pro white sleeves, so same size as the 66 by 91, but Ultra Pro has this annoying little emblem right here which really bugs me. So my entire collection used to be in the Ultra Pro white sleeves, but then I discovered BCW and I was like, oh, I like those better. So I transitioned my ATEEZ collection into BCW, and then my Dreamcatcher and One Us collection are in these cards. And then these white holographic sleeves, this is Unicorn Board Gaming Supplies. I got these off of Etsy. So all of these I got off of Amazon, but this one I got off of Etsy. And these I use as fillers in my binder. And then Dragon Shield, this is the Japanese size. I like the clear matte. This I use in my A5 binders. So like I mentioned before, the A5 binder pages, these don't fit. So the 66 by 91 size sleeve does not fit in those pages. So I get the Japanese size card sleeves from Dragon Shield. And then for my collect books, which those pockets tend to be even smaller than the A5 pocket sizes, I get, there's no branding on this, but this is the BCW board game size sleeve. And these are 56 millimeters by 86 millimeters. So if you know, the standard Photocard size is 55 by 85 millimeters. So these are a millimeter larger, like on each side. So they're very snug to the Photocard, and I find this very snug size fits better in collect books. So that's what I use in my collect books. And my collect books, I don't have them, I'm not showing them to you guys, but I just find any old collect book off Etsy that I like. But yeah, that's it for all my materials, I think. All right, so that was it for my collection materials. Most of the stuff I get off of Amazon or in stores like Target or Staples, but any of the like specific specialty shops I mentioned, I'll leave links to that in the description. And obviously if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask. Hopefully this was helpful for some people if you were, wondering what kind of products even exist out there that you can use. There's a ton of stuff out there, so you can definitely find something that you like for your own collection. And I will also say, which I didn't before, for collecting, I feel like you will hear this phrase thrown out a lot. It's called archival safe, or like PVC free, or polypropylene, those things. That's just the type of materials that are used in these products that keep the item safe from like breaking down over time. So things like PVC have acid in them that will break down the quality of the item and like the material of the item. So that's why, like here it says archival quality acid-free pages. So you want to look for those like keywords in the products that you buy. Like here, this is PVC and acid-free. So I would keep that in mind as well when you're, looking for different products to buy, because that helps keep your collection items safe. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.